What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Zone Fiends, and we are here with the Week 10 NFL bets for you guys. We are on a hot streak right now. Mike is hot, Frank is hot, and I just started winning again, so we are definitely on positive vibes right now. So we have some good stuff for you guys, and just keeping on with this. Real quick, just want to give a shout out. This YouTube presentation is brought to you by Made by Diana's. You can find her on Instagram. She will hook you up with these awesome shirts. You know, if you're in that local 209 area.
Good prices.
Go ahead and hit her up and let her know that Red Zone Fiends
Support
sent
small
you.
business.
There you go. Support that small business. Okay, so here we go. We have some bets going on, and we're going to start off first with the hottest of the bunch. Frank the Tank is on a winning streak. What do you got for us, Frank?
All right, spitting some fire out right now. We're going to keep on win streak. All right, so before I'll let you guys know, on Thursday I did place a 6-point teaser. I did 100 for 80 in return. I took the game to go under 43 or 44, whatever it was, and I got actually 6 more points so I was at +9, which I got the cover. So that one, we won that one. That's why Josh says, I was hot. And then of course, over the weekend, I hit that teaser too. So we're riding. We're riding pretty well.
Yes, sir.
So right now, for this week, I got another 6-point teaser. I like this one a lot. I normally don't do a lot of teasers, but we're on fire that way. So we'll keep it that way. So right now, this week, I got New Orleans Saints. They're +3. They're -3. But with that point teaser, they're going to be +3 now. Then I got the under 47 for the I forgot to write what name it was.
Under 47, and I'm going to guess and maybe go with the...
We'll skip that one.
Probably saying, is it you that have the Ravens and Browns, or is it the Steelers and Packers?
I had the Ravens and Browns.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, I'll skip that one for now. Then I have the LA Chargers was 3, and I'm getting now 9. And then I'm going to end up taking the Raiders versus the Jets. I was getting 1, and now I'm going to get 7 instead.
Okay,
and then
right.
Back to that under. Let me see. It's actually going to be... Shoot, what game was it?
A little bit of technical difficulty. It's going to have you right now going right now. This is going to be a hitter. This is going to be a hitter.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's crazy. It's not showing me the team, but it's giving me the odds. Okay, so it's going to be the Bengals and the Texans game.
Yes,
sorry about
Bengals
that.
And Texans, well worth the
2
wait.
top wideouts, very questionable. 1 out.
That's right.
Exactly.
Higgins.
That's why. I get the
Higgins
points
is
now.
out.
If they declare Jamar Chase out, then there's no way they're hitting 30 points, and their defense is elite.
Yeah.
They're not elite, but they're top 10
and they're
defense.
still at home. They're still at home.
They still have Joe Burrow.
They'll defend
So
well.
I'm not.
They should.
I was gonna actually put. They were getting -7.5. I was gonna get them just for the half point, but Josh made that point to where even if it might be an upset, you just never know. So I went the other. I just said, you know what, we're not gonna run with that. We'll run with the under 53.
So if I recall right, on that 6-point teaser parlay, it's going to be a +2 and +2 around 214. So you said you're going to put it around.
Yeah, 75 to win 195.
Perfect. See, let's see, you got another one cooking for us, man.
Take it, guys. Like I said, you don't have to put a big amount. That one's +2 something in the high 260s, I think. So even if you do 20, 30 on it, you'll still get 70 back. It's a pretty decent bet. The only one that worries me a little bit, I would say, would probably be the Charger game, but I think we're safe.
There you go. Now we'll go to the second hottest guy. He had a huge weekend, around like 400 on the weekend. What do you got for us, Mike?
Man, all right. Let's run it down. First of all, let me run down Sunday's NFL bets. I took the Bills -6 on that second half.
Okay.
I had a 3-team parlay with the Colts -1.5, Raiders 1.5, Eagles -3, even though the Eagles made me sweat that last few seconds. And then, I even did a 4-team 12-point teaser, Falcons +8.5, Packers +8.5, Browns -1, threw the Raiders again in there at plus 10.5. You know, each value of the bet for me at least just set $50 worth, but you know risking say 65 to 70 for that. So you're kind of guaranteeing yourself there. But for this week, as far as my 3-team parlay, I'd go with the Cleveland Browns plus 6. I definitely would take that. You could even tease that. Do a 3-team 10-point teaser, plus 6 or plus 16.
Yeah.
Good either way. Green Bay versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like Pittsburgh minus 3.5. Although I would probably buy the half point just to be on the safe side, but I think you should be good either way. And even if you teased it, I'd go Pittsburgh plus 6.5 on a 10-point teaser.
Yeah.
So if they lose no more than a couple field goals, Jets and the Raiders. I have the Raiders at plus 1. If you do a 10-point teaser plus 11, put your odds up there more and, give yourself a little guarantee. You might miss on the parlay, but, you'll be looking real good on the teaser as far as insurance go. 50 for 300 on a parlay, 65 for 50 on that, on that teaser, so
some pretty good teasers.
either way, you want to be on the positive side, so,
You always want to play the odds, too.
Yeah, so even if you lose the parlay.
The odds of somebody getting blown out, especially if they're favored by a couple, only by a couple points or somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting, like, what was that? Somebody was favored by 17 this week. I think
the Giants,
yeah.
the Cowboys-Giants game. Cowboys are favored by 17.
You tease that 6 points, you really think they're going to win by 24 points? That's a lot. In the
yeah,
NFL.
but you're talking about a third-string undrafted
quarterback.
quarterback.
Just lost to the Raiders.
Tiny DeVito, a boss mom's son out there, New York owes him a favor. Throw him in there for me. Plus, we take it anyways. So,
Maybe that, yeah. So it actually is in reach.
What was the last game with the starting quarterback? I think they beat him by at least 24, 27.
Yeah, it was
up there.
Exactly. So okay, we'll go.
All right. So what you got for us, Josh?
Yeah, so we're gonna go to my bets. I started off hot in the beginning of the season. Lost the last 2 weeks. Lost 2 weeks before this last week. Hit pretty good this last week for all of the followers who are keeping up with my bets, and. So I have a huge 4-leg parlay, okay? So first, I'm going to go with the Texans in Cincinnati playing the Bengals, okay? Bengals are minus 280. Now, I'm going to take the Bengals on this parlay. Yes, Higgins is out, but he's been out and they've won without him. Jamar Chase, if he can play, it's a guaranteed win for me. Definitely played in Cincinnati, so I'm going to take that minus 280, and if he doesn't play it, Cincinnati's defense is underrated. They're still going to take the W.
Yeah, they still are.
Okay, so that's one leg. So the second is going to be the Jets playing the Raiders in Las Vegas. Raiders are on fire right now. It's only been one game, but that one game is changing the whole franchise. It's
culture.
It's
a culture.
It's just changing. They're on fire right now.
The culture's changing.
It's going to be a low-scoring game, but it's kind of too risky on the points for me. So, yeah. It's under 36. So even if you tease that and give like about 7 points, maybe that's something to look at. But I'm going to go with the Raiders. They're playing at home. They're playing in Vegas. They're hot right now. Zach Wilson did not look good that last game at all. Raiders defense just had a bunch of turnovers.
Put Trevor in.
He went backwards.
Trevor Siemian might play. Robert Saleh, the head coach.
Yes, the coaches lost faith in him.
You're pleading the fifth. You're kind of hitting at a quarterback change. You would think so. Otherwise, why are you pleading the fifth?
You would be backing them up.
To me,
and not support your quarterback.
It's going to go. The Raiders locker room is on fire. They are all together. They're all in right now. The Jets is just out of control. They're starting to go downhill. I think the Raiders are going to pick up a victory at home. That's right. And then my third leg is going to be the Packers in Pittsburgh. I'm going to take the Steelers, man. Jordan Love is not the quarterback we thought he was going to be, or anybody thought. He started off good, but that Steelers defense is
Pittsburgh
wrong,
is tough at home.
I see multiple turnovers in this game.
Multiple turnovers. Pittsburgh's. I'm going to just
picks, fumbles.
Pittsburgh is
strip
tough
sacks.
at home.
Yes.
I see a terror this game.
Yes, it's going to be.
You see what they did to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. They're a top team in the NFL, period. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the Steelers minus 170. Then I'm going to go to the Monday Night Football game. We have the Broncos going to Buffalo to play the Bills. Bills need to win, okay? So it's minus 340. that's gonna help my parlay, knowing I have almost for sure. I'm gonna say almost for sure the Bills are gonna take it. They have to win. Broncos have been playing good, I will admit that, but they're not gonna go into Buffalo and beat the Bills. So that's minus 340. You add that all together, and you get plus 440. So I'm gonna put only $60 this week, but that's gonna give me 266. And those are my tight bets. I think I'm pretty confident this week, guys. I mean, your guys' bets are pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
I might just copy.
Upset game of the week though. I would say is the Arizona Cardinals versus the Atlanta Falcons. Upset game of the week. I think they're +2 or +3. And
yeah. No,
if you're looking at that line on plus money, I would say +2, +2 -2, plus 110. So you're getting a little over, what you're putting in. You're on the plus side, but they just got beat by a quarterback that was on 3-day notice with the team.
Definitely.
Kyler Murray, you think he's had plenty time to come back, and Atlanta's defense is not the greatest to where he can do some things to where he looks all right.
Sure.
And Hollywood Brown is still there. That's my upset game of the week.
That's
Straight
a
up.
damn good upset, man.
Yeah, money
I'm
line.
looking at
Don't
another
even take the
upset
points.
too. Going to the odds, Jacksonville's been playing hot. Something else. I mean, it's risky playing against the Niners, but they have been hot.
Both coming off buys.
So it's gonna be great.
They'll be next to fully healthy.
Yes. Jacksonville's at home.
Yeah, so that's also going to be, it's pretty tight game.
I just feel like Jacksonville's doing just enough to get the wins. You know what I mean? They're grinding them out, hard-fought games. Nothing. There's no blowouts really that I can think of. They're just like
I think
they're one possession games, but they're winning soundly. I don't know if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. But wins over Buffalo. Although Buffalo has, thus far has shown
underperformed.
They're an underperforming team, but we still believe Buffalo's a top contender in the AFC.
Yeah.
So, that's a big win against them overseas. And then, a big win against, a New Orleans Saints team at home.
Yeah.
They just beat Pittsburgh, who's I don't know if you want to say they're overrated, underrated, but they're tough at home for sure.
Definitely,
and
man.
At 5-3, you kind of scratch your head and think, that's a better record than the Buffalo Bills. Am I correct? Are they not 5-4?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot.
So those are our NFL bets for Week 10. Man, these bets are gonna hit, man.
No, you don't have to pick all three of ours.
No.
Yeah.
You can just pick one because
whoever sounds better to you guys, but just try to remember about the teasers. Okay, the teasers are very important. I know a lot of people are new to the betting, but do what you got to do. Go to YouTube and see how.
And that's why I usually follow up my parlays with the teaser, because the teaser's insurance. If you don't hit your parlay, you'll most likely at least get your money back.
Yep.
Break even, start over. That's kind of the point. As long as you stay away in the negative, nickel and dime your ways in the positive 50, 100, 200. That's how I go about it. So that's insurance. For me, it's insurance.
Oh, definitely.
I'd rather push and break even on the teams that I put insurance on than completely out. So that's how I look at it.
We have our college segment right now going on. He's kind of like the college guru out of the group. We're gonna go with Mike. What do you got for us for college?
Man, first of all, college. Let me read you last week's, and I don't try to dabble with too much on as far as who I'm betting on, because a lot of upsets in college, a lot of crazy games, teams come and go. But I wanted to take Alabama before the game started, but I ended up getting them late and getting them at plus money at plus 134 when they went down 7 in the third quarter against LSU. And then after that they just blew them out. And then 3-team teaser, I had Texas at plus 7, close game. Again, insurance. Mississippi plus 7, another close game, extra insurance. And Ohio State Rutgers over 34. Ohio State themselves could have probably scored to 34, but well over. So those were my bets for last week. And this week, with my 3-team parlay, I'm going with Michigan at -4.5. You know,
like it.
Yes, I do very
you
much
you know
like that
you
one.
gave Ohio State against Ohio State when they played Penn State -4. So I think Michigan, you know, they're a better team right now. I think they can more than cover that. Number 18 Utah versus number 5 Washington. Washington, you know, I think they keep looking for these statement games, and number 18 Utah. What college team was that just handed it to them the other week? Was it Oregon? Oregon just whooped on Utah. So to get -5 only for Washington, who beat Oregon State, you know, it's kind of disrespectful. If I'm Washington, I'm thinking
Hey,
if Oregon State can blow them out, I know we need to blow them out, and we should blow them out. You know,
They got
because
a
we
good
beat.
offense.
and
Sure.
that's
They really
that's
do.
just doing their job.
Yes. So Washington -5, I think that's a no-brainer. And then, you know, it's a little more local for me than the top schools ranked teams, but I got Fresno State over San Jose State.
Yeah.
Fresno State, I believe, is 6-2, 2 losses, and I believe Fresno State has 4 losses. You gotta fact check me on that, but at 2.5, I'm taking Fresno State, and you know, 50 for 300. You know,
Oh, that's really good.
it's a you know, it's a lot of positives there.
Definitely.
But if you're gonna tease it, I would do the 3-team 10-point teaser. Now I'm not just gonna go, you know, with the plus and minus on the other team on the teaser. With the Michigan game, I'd go under 54.5 on the score on that, because Penn State has a top defense, Michigan has a top defense. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be in the 30-40 range tops, in my opinion. And then Washington, Utah, I'm going over 39 on that 10-point teaser. Like, for a college game, that should
Yeah.
easily go 40-50. I think Washington himself just scored 50 points last week against USC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They have a good offense.
Exactly.
They're
And then
underrated.
for the Fresno State, San Jose
Well,
State
not really.
teaser, I'd
Where's
take
that?
Fresno State at plus 12.5. You got a better team with a better record. They played, you know, pretty good competition. You give them an extra 10 points as underdogs, I'd take that all day. So
Yeah,
I'd go with
yeah.
the teasers on that.
Yes.
65 for 50. So, you know,
Yeah.
you win your money back if you don't hit the
For
parlay.
sure,
So.
definitely. To have a pretty solid bet like that to get you back, you know.
Yeah,
it's not a total
sure,
loss if your main
for
bet doesn't
sure.
work out. So, all right, it's a pretty good bet so far. So now we're gonna move into our fantasy
You
football.
know,
segment.
I'm sorry.
What do you got? No, what
I'm
do you
going to
got?
cut you off real quick. I'm also gonna let's go back to that Michigan versus Penn State
State.
game. I'm actually going to ride half a unit on this one. I'm gonna take Michigan minus the 5, simply because JJ McCarthy is playing behind an elite offensive line.
Yeah.
Guy's playing out of his mind. His numbers are excellent. He's probably a top 5 quarterback statistically. He's probably top 3 in Heisman just because where Michigan's ranked, even though they're like, you know, the whole scandal's going on with them. So I don't expect him to win a Heisman or be considered. Anyway, that's neither here or there. So I just feel like this is gonna be a statement game because of Harbaugh's suspension.
Yeah.
I feel like their defense is gonna light. I know Penn State is good. I understand that, but aside from Georgia, because we haven't seen it, aside from Ohio State, because we haven't seen it yet, but they will clash at the end of the year, or at the end of the schedule. But this game is gonna be a statement game, and they're gonna. I personally feel like they'll probably win by maybe. I'll ride this all the way up to about 8, but I think they win this game. I don't see how.
But even in Michigan's terms, the way they've been winning, that's you
Yeah.
know that's a lot. That's a lot less than what they're accustomed to. You know, they're blowing teams out, you know, double digits
Yeah.
every game minimum. So
Yeah.
you know, that just shows you Penn State defense is still up there, and it's still
Yeah.
got to be respected. And
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure. I
so
just
you're not
think
getting double digits on them.
McCarthy's just watching him play against an elite second-rate college team. I can't forget. I didn't want to look back into their schedule, but
Yeah.
it was one of the elite mid-range college teams just outside of the rankings. But their defense was carrier, but they lit them up bad. Just the way their offense is going, they have a good 1-2 punch with McCorum and Edwards. Their defense is lights out. I don't know about the whole sign stealing
Best
stuff,
defense in the
but
league.
They're
I
top.
don't think that's going to be a factor.
They're top 3 in the nation in every statistical category. So I know Penn State's
number
good,
2
but
ranked in the country for a reason, right?
elite in the league.
Number 2.
Well, he's actually went to number 3 now. Ohio jumped to number 1, Georgia 2, and Michigan sits at 3.
Oh, okay.
They did the whole switch.
Okay.
Yeah, but that'll get adjusted at the end of the year. We'll find out what happens. But yeah, so take the 5. I'm riding the 5.
Straight up, even.
Yeah.
Forget the teaser, forget the parlay. There's a game you want to push a lot of chips
There
in.
you go.
I would.
Michigan's gonna make a statement. I
Yes.
believe.
You can't go
I
wrong
believe
with
it's
Michigan.
coming.
No, you're not going to go wrong with that.
And check out that Washington versus Ohio State. If you look back at what Oregon did to them, and after Washington beat them, that's another one to look at as, man, -5. Yeah,
There you go. There you go. All right.
All right, Josh. Who for fantasy?
boom or bust.
Fantasy boomer bust saves. Let's see.
Boom or bust. I mean, it's
Who you
kind
got?
of like a not such a surprise. I'm sure a lot of people are going to feel the same way, but it's an easy one for me. Tony Pollard, he still hasn't had that breakout, like, oh shit, like kind of game. So I'm
Like
going to go with
last
Tony
year.
Pollard versus the Giants.
As the boom player.
Definitely a boom. I can see him going at least 100 yards.
Last
has
time he
to
had
get
a
in that
boom.
end zone.
Josh Jacobs scored twice last
Yes,
week
Josh
on
Jacobs
this.
got at least 90 yards, 2
on this
touchdowns
team,
on
so
the Giants, and it's just a whole better team.
It's
The
not-
Cowboys
yeah.
are gonna go up by a lot. They're gonna dominate this whole game. So Pollard's gonna get a
He's
lot
gonna
more
get fed.
opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna be fed. And then I'm gonna go with my bust real quick, and that was going to be I'm gonna stick with the same game. Okay, I'm gonna go with Saquon Barkley. So Saquon, he did okay against the Raiders, but now he's playing a very stiff Cowboys defense. I don't think he's gonna get too much. It's gonna help him on the receptions for PPR. So he'll probably break like 13 points maybe. That's what I'm guessing, but do not expect a breakout game for Tony Pollard. What do you got, Frank?
All right, so my boom is Alvin Kamara going
Yeah.
against the Minnesota
I like
Vikings.
that one.
My man waited in the fourth round. No, I knew he was going to get suspended I knew he was suspended for his 3 games, but this man's been on a tear since he came back from his
Yeah,
suspension.
he is a PPR machine.
PPR machine. I think he's probably a top 5 in running backs right now since he came back from his suspension. In the last was it week 10, 7 games? He's probably top 5. His PPR machine, receptions, getting maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 catches sometimes, scoring touchdowns, rushing. I mean, these guys got it all. Then he's playing against the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, their defense hasn't been playing good, but their offense, I don't see their offense doing very well against that New Orleans Saints steel curtain of a defense. Sorry, I didn't mean to rephrase that. I can't use that. I was jacked up. But their defense is legit. One of the top defenses in the NFL. Derek Carr is clicking with his offense. They put up 30-plus points the other week, so I see that coming. My bust, Derrick Henry versus Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
This one hurts to say because I do have Derrick Henry in my fantasy lineup.
Yes, you do.
But Tampa Bay's got a good defense. They got Vita Vea in the middle. There's 2 linebackers in there. Levante David and I forget his buddy's name, but he's out there too. One of the best outside linebackers in the league. So yeah, that's my boomer bust. Hopefully Derrick Henry can get at least 1 touchdown with 30 yards, and it'll make it worth it.
All right.
What you got, Mike?
All right, my boom for this week is as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to be watching that Sunday night game, Raiders versus Jets. It's going to be Breece Hall, A lot of teams have carved up the Raider defense, especially in the run game this year. So, and Breece Hall is on a tear. The man is a special talent.
I like it. I have him on fantasy.
Yes, for sure. Breece Hall. I see him gashing up our defense, and hopefully that's all that is. But and as the bus on the other side of that, the same game. I hate to say it, and I really hope I'm wrong. Because the last time I said that, that Devontae was boom, he ended up being a bust. So I'm going to say Devontae Adams, but I do hope he's wrong because CeeDee Lamb has had a big game against the Jets. Philly receiver.
Brown.
AJ Brown had a big game against the Jets. You know, they kind of kept Keenan Allen in check, under 100 yards, but the other competition hasn't been. Diggs had a big game against them. You know, so I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going
to
say
show why he's the top two receivers.
But with a rookie quarterback, second game, and they're
playing one of the top defenses in the NFL.
The Jets are a top defense,
and
they're
known for stopping the run. So I see a lot of third and longs tomorrow. Or on Sunday.
And if you get predictable with the third and longs, it's easier for them to play the pass, and so
somehow.
I do hope I'm wrong though. Yeah. So I hope, because I got both Devontae. I got Devontae in my team, and I got Josh Jacobs on the team.
That's right. Okay, Devontae Adams, I missed. All right.
But my boom or bust. Who you got for your boom or bust, Josh?
Oh, I already got my Pollard and
oh, that's right.
And Barkley going on.
That's right.
So now, before we switch segments, I am playing Frank the Tank, and I'm on a do or die situation. Let us know if you are at the same level as I am. I'm 3-6. If I do not win my next at least 2 to 3 games,
no, you need a clean road.
Let me know what you guys think in the comment section.
5 games left in the season?
Frank or Josh, right?
Yeah. 5 games
Five
left.
Games. I got to win at least 4 out of 5 just to have a chance at playoffs.
Last matchup was
Danklin. Yeah, you
so I'm looking for the sweep this year.
You keep just focusing on that last matchup.
We had a good matchup too the other week with our top teams.
Yeah, we did, man. There were
highest scored in the league.
Explosive teams going on. So let us know in the comment section. What do you got? What's your record? Who do you guys need? So cheering each other on is always something good. So before we head out, we do want to talk about one more thing, as we all 3 of us are Raider fans. Let's hear with Frank what he thinks the Raiders should do. Continue on.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking, all right? To me, and Josh corrected me on this part because I rushed ahead and said anything, but he corrected me. To me, you finish out the year with what you got, you evaluate your team, whatever, okay? You win only 2 games for the rest of the year. It's not a very good look. Then with that same team, you expect to somehow crack the playoffs. To me, I don't think that's realistic. I don't think we'll have a roster ready to go to playoffs by next year. So I proposed that we trade Devontae Adams for a first rounder and a third rounder to one of those teams that are in win now mode that have those elite quarterbacks. Maybe the Jets. Jets is a viable, very good option. And right now, if they did the trade by the end of the year, Jets right now would have. I don't see them winning very many more ball games, so you'd have a pretty low pick. So with those first and third rounders, I believe you can go ahead and move up in your draft to the top 3 picks and somehow get Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's an elite talent. In 3 years, he'll be at least a 6-time All-Star. The guy's dad is a legend. He's going to be a great route runner, best prospect in years. So I'm thinking go ahead and go with that to pair up with Aiden O'Connell. So you got a young quarterback, a young running back, a young receiver. Give them 2 or 3 years. Add in players from free agency, defensive line, specifically defense. Defense, we need an overhaul, I feel like. Because earlier I was saying, well, other than Max Crosby, who's our defensive players? Other than until that, who's our linebackers? And until that,
linebacker help.
And until that, who's besides Marcus Peters, who's our secondary? And the only reason people know Trevor Morey is because the guy gets burnt on TV. So that's the only reason they know him.
Nate Hobbs is.
So Nate Hobbs is a good talent. That's why I didn't say nothing about Nate Hobbs.
Second year guy.
Nate Hobbs is actually a top 10 slot corner.
Pro Bowler and a safety and what's his name, Epps.
So that's what I felt. I just felt like you can get another receiver and work on your team through free agency. In 3 years, you end up going playoffs. As opposed to if you keep Devontae, you go like this, then you're in win. And to me, it feels like we're in win now mode because of Devontae Adams' age. So if we don't win a bowl in at least one Super Bowl before Adams leaves, Because let's be honest, what's the percentages of receivers that still perform at all-star levels that are over the age of 33?
That's true. But
So-
my only thing with that, though, is if you say we're only going to win 2 more games the rest of the year, and that's how it's going to go, wouldn't you think Aiden O'Connell would look kind of shaky, pretty bad?
It just depends on how we lose. Like, that's
Exactly.
why you can't really evaluate
But
until you see how it is.
But I would assume, right, that
You would
Aiden
assume to
O'Connell
get a
doesn't
quarterback.
Aiden O'Connell doesn't look good if we're only winning 2 games
You
after
would
that.
assume you want a quarterback.
Well, we
instead of
could
a
have
receiver.
defensive problems like we
Yeah.
did before. You
But,
just don't know how. You
but-
just don't know how the teams are going to
But
react.
if you
though.
if it goes that way and you land a top 3 pick or you try to trade for that top 3 pick by trading Adams away, then the other side to that I would say is, wouldn't you rather get a top 3 talent at quarterback?
That's correct.
yeah,
Would you really rather have a top 3 talent quarterback or a number 1 receiver, but with a mediocre quarterback? Because if we're winning 2 games, the way I look at it, Aiden O'Connell is not looking good,
That's
and
right.
he's not the franchise quarterback, because now this was a choice taken by McDaniels.
well,
And,
well, see, but you can't.
And
really
I like
perform
Aiden. I
on-
like Aiden.
What if,
Aiden's a good player, but if I'm saying,
If it goes down
I'm
that
saying
road.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
If it goes how you're gonna say it's gonna go with winning 2 games based off that, now like you said, a lot can happen in between. But I think it'd be safe to assume that Aiden doesn't look good, and you're looking for a franchise quarterback.
So
So
again, that depends on the offense, though, because now he's got to go adjust a whole new offense. You
Yes.
can't really, you know what I mean.
Yes.
So he's
So
got to
that-
adjust
that-
another offense
That
to the
actually
top of
brings
that.
it to my point
So,
of view. That actually
is
brings
this
it to
gonna
my
be-
point of view then, because to me, I think you don't just go based off of this year. You can't.
No.
Before you had Josh McDaniels, Raiders were a playoff team. Okay, Raiders so far the defense is looking better than the playoff team's defense. Okay, so you have to me you have to give them at least next year. You just have to. You can't say, oh, if the Raiders don't make playoffs this year, we need to rebuild. That's unfair to the
No,
quarterback.
I
That's
never
unfair
said
to
they were
the-
going to make the playoffs.
But if
today. I knew this year I knew this year was pretty much oversetting them. This is tryouts for everybody else on the team.
I would also say a first rounder and a third rounder is kind of a steep price for like you said, an aging receiver.
Yeah.
And the only team I see paying that steep price at that moment would be the New York Jets.
Jets.
Yes, yeah.
Exactly.
Because
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers, you've seen they'll
And
do
his-
what
and-
he want. Him and
At his age,
Devontae.
with that defense,
Yes.
you know what I
But
mean.
who's to say that if we do only win 2 games, who's to say that the Jets are going to have a lower draft pick than the Raiders are at that time now? So it's kind of like if we go down that road, if Harrison is still there, if we only win 2 more games, we are going to have a top 10 pick. So
Did the Jets give away their first rounder?
Jets don't even. I don't even think
I
they
don't
have
know.
a pick.
Yeah. See, because I don't think.
I think
There's a lot of
opportunity's
talks with
gone.
Aaron
I don't
Rodgers
think so.
coming back towards
No,
the end
he's
of the
not going
year.
to come back.
Dude, it's like, why would
They
you?
won't make the playoffs.
No, and they won't be in position for that. So it's kind of pointless. You'd be just risking
Risking
Rodgers
more
more.
injury. Yeah.
So
I think that
you're
tra-
definitely
uh,
regrouping.
I think that trade opportunities done and gone out the window, and I think you just look at the Raiders. You say, we still do have these weapons. We had Devontae Adams. We just need to work up this rookie quarterback. Give him some help at the offensive line. Give him a little bit of help. I mean, you said it yourself too. A couple years, you can do free agent. You can do draft. I mean, you at this, and also being a Raider fan, and it's not kind of getting in the way of this judgment, is like, it's a must win now. Like we've talked about Devontae Adams being the face of the Raiders.
Cornerstone.
We are not going to get rid of Devontae Adams. It's just not going to happen. I don't see it. So we build off of this rookie, and we say, we have a bunch of studs on offense. We just need to build up our defense a little bit more, and the Raiders can definitely be a playoff team. And if they're in the playoffs, why not? Why can't if Aiden O'Connell shows up and he plays good? Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl his second year. Everybody did not think that. He went to the wild card and he made it all the way to the Super Bowl. So who's not to say that?
Not
Instead
comparing
of-
Joe Burrow to Aiden O'Connell.
No, we're not. But who's
No, because that's two separate.
No, but who's to say that he can't win a playoff game? If he makes it to the playoff any given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that's more of the way I would go instead of another rebuild year for the Raiders. That is something that nobody wants. Almost nobody wants.
If
So-
if the Raiders are really trying to rebuild, they would have traded Devontae Adams at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they expected to fire their head coach. So
I think so.
I think if the fire came beforehand and they're
I
really
think-
and they didn't look very good,
I
then
think
that's what
I
you
think
think.
I think the Raiders. I think they knew.
I think Mark Davis not trading
After
Devontae,
after that Detroit game, I'm pretty sure there was already rumbling that.
But you have
Before
to
that
say,
Detroit game?
Mark Davis not
Before-
trading Devontae with Josh McDaniels.
because he got fired after the Detroit.
Yeah,
game.
but I'm
They're
saying
trying to win now.
before
Yeah.
that there was
Yeah,
already
but-
rumbles and talks
Yeah,
of him
I'm
going.
just saying though is, if you don't win now in the next 3 years, then Devontae Adams just. I don't want to say wasted his career because he can have great years.
I definitely
But I'm
wouldn't
just saying
blame
he's just not gonna
Devontae.
get the ball.
I wouldn't blame Devontae for asking for a trade or demanding
Yeah.
a
If
trade.
he demanded a trade to the
And
New
I
York
wouldn't-
Jets, I'd fully oblige. Like
and I
first and a
wouldn't-
third rounder,
yeah.
easily. And
And
you
I
might
would-
even want to send over Wilson.
I wouldn't
Why
be
not?
mad. I wouldn't be mad at the Raiders for going that way if they're rebuilding.
If
Do
they-
I think that's gonna happen? No. Mark is in his. He's
If-
trying to win now.
if-
Mark's
Yes,
trying to
sir.
win now. Back to Josh's point. So, but I see what you're saying, Tino. And
But why not put
I don't
Wilson
disagree.
with Harrison Jr. and Aiden O'Connell with Josh Jacobs, and hopefully you could and Josh Jacobs, if he's still in his prime, because Josh don't think he by 28 he's in his prime, so he says
Because
his style of football. Is
Because
rough
I
and
think
tough.
if we could, I think that if we end up with a top 3-5 pick, I don't see us going receiver. I think we're going for a quarterback because
Yeah.
the next year's draft is heavy on quarterbacks as far as talent and eliteness and that face of the franchise.
Well, what if we just lose because
And we
of our
haven't-
defense?
we-
What if we lose shootouts though? What if he does
But the best-
look good
The
and we
best
still
teams,
lose?
the best teams, you have to have a franchise quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles.
It's a
Well,
lot of
Patrick
what ifs.
Mahomes,
no.
Joe
It's-
Burrow.
To me, it's a lot of what ifs. What do you guys think? How do you think that Aiden O'Connell is gonna do? Okay, so
Give
you
a
wanna say what if
prediction
Aiden
now
O'Connell
before
does bad?
he
How do
starts.
you guys think that Aiden O'Connell will do?
I think he'll be I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be above average.
I think he's one of the best backups in that.
I think he'll be above average when it's said and done when the season's end, and I think we'll be
I think
we'll be on the outside looking in, but we'll be close. And but on the upside of things going the right way, we could make the playoffs, but I don't see us winning a playoff game.
with
Best case scenario, but realistically, I think we might be looking at 7-9.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know-
Definitely this year. And time's only gonna tell with
7
Aiden
and
O'Connell
10.
the Raiders. It's a lot of
To the ifs or buts.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
ifs, ands, or buts going on. So,
So
you know,
I think we'll win more than 2 games. I think
Absolutely.
I would.
I think we're gonna win out.
That might be the over and under for the rest of the year. 2 games, and I think I'd safely take over. I think we'll hit 3 at least.
Okay, so yeah, so what? Before we get going, I'd just like to say I appreciate you guys sticking with us through this, whole live. For our TikTok followers, thank you guys for subscribing. We are gonna give that gift away. We just wanted a little bit more time. Make your subscription public so we can put you down in the raffle. That's what I was
We have
trying to hope for.
We have a lot of followers, but they're not public, so we can't see their names, so they won't qualify for the raffle.
So we only have like a third of all of our subscribers that are actually qualified for the raffle. So get your subscription public for us, and we're gonna do that raffle for everybody. Definitely next week. One more thing, I wanted to give Mike a shout out once again for coming on. Hey, he's been hot on his
happy
bets,
to be
man.
here.
He's
Happy
been
to be
hot
here.
on his bets, so hey, he's making a lot of sense, man. He's winning some money, so he's the way to go for me. So we appreciate you guys.
Pause.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit up that Instagram made by Diana. She's giving out these, not giving out, obviously you gotta pay for it, but let her know Red Zone Fiends sent you guys, and she will hook you guys up. And we will see you guys live Sunday.
Live Sunday. We'll see you.